Hello and welcome everyone. Let me see if I can fix this really quick. Let me go here. Hello and welcome everyone. Let me see if I can fix this really quick. Let me go here. Hello and welcome everyone. Let me see if I can fix this really quick. Let me go here. Hello and welcome everyone. Let me see if I can fix this really quick. Let me go here. Let's see if we can fix the sound settings. So let's fix on Zoom. Let's see if we can fix the sound settings. And then let's fix on Facebook. On live stream, here we go. Let's see if I can fix. Now you should be able to hear me just fine, I'm hoping. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me fine. We're working on that now. Okay, let's see if you can. We're working on it. Just give us a few minutes here. Okay. We're working on that now. I want to fix that here. We're going to test 1, 2, 3, 4. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Just give us a few minutes here. Okay. We're working on that now. I'm going to fix that here. We're going to test 1, 2, 3, 4. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Just give us a few minutes here. Okay, so let's put it Zoom here. I'm going to fix that here. We're going to test 1, 2, 3, 4. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. That was kind of double. Okay, so let's put it Zoom here. I'm going to fix that here. Okay, and so we're going to test 1, 2, 3, 4. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. That was here on here. Okay, that should fix it. Fingers crossed. I think I got it. Hopefully we do. Here. Fingers crossed. I think I got it. Hopefully we do. Here. Yeah, we're hearing a double, so let's see. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that definitely is not working. So let's go. It's not working. Okay,
So we need to take it off of here, or really low. I'll be right back. Hey, Steve? It is picking up the television, what's saying on the television. So we get to take it off what's saying on the television. Is that
I'll be
weird?
right back.
Strange. Okay. Yeah, my computer picked it up. Let's see if they can hear me now.
Yeah, my computer picked it up.
Okay, let's scroll up a little bit. That's just really strange. We're almost there, though. Okay, let's see if they can hear me. That's just really strange. We're almost there, though. Okay, let's use Skype.
Let's see if they can hear me.
Okay,
It's
so
just
come on
really
in.
strange. We're almost there, though.
You can kind of hear that good, I think. I turned it up here, because they can kind of turn it up on their end, right?
Okay.
Okay, so that's here, us on YouTube, and then I think this. Okay,
You can kind of hear that good.
so we don't get a double feedback.
Turned it up here.
Double whammy.
Because they
Yeah.
can kind of turn it up on their end, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's here, us on YouTube, and
That's
then
not loud enough, though,
this.
is it?
No.
Okay, let's try that.
So we don't get a double feedback.
Turned it up here.
1, 2,
Double
3,
whammy.
4.
I
Yeah,
turned up your settings just slightly.
turn up on my
So that's
settings.
here, us on
Okay, let's
YouTube,
try
and
that.
then
Loud enough, though, is it?
let's try that. Get a double feedback. Here.
2, 3, 4.
I turned up your settings just slightly.
Turn up on my
So that's
settings.
here, us on YouTube, and then
Loud enough, though, is it? Just doing this.
get a double feedback.
Oh my God, where was all the feedback?
I turned up your settings just slightly.
Turn up on my settings. Here, us on YouTube, loud enough, though, is it?
Okay.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, but you can hear it. Listen to that. Now, can you hear it at all?
No.
Can't hear it at all now. Okay. It's there, and then let's. Yeah, but you can hear it. Listen to that.
Now, can you hear it
Okay.
at all?
Ooh, whatever we did was
Hear
good.
it at all now?
Is that too low now, though? What is that noise?
Clear, and then let's.
Why does it keep blurring out on my side too?
Not hearing anything. Turn up volume.
It's good. Now.
Is that too low now, though? Yeah, that's what it does there. I don't know where it's coming
Why does
from.
it keep blurring out on my side too?
Let's go
Not hearing
here.
anything, turn up volume. It's good. Is that too low now, though?
Yeah, that's what it does there. Okay,
Go here.
okay, let's go here. It's, I don't know where that's coming from. We don't want to leave the meeting. Okay, so we're gonna go, let's go up here. Okay, let's go here. It's, I don't know where that's coming from. I don't think we have anything that's on. So we're gonna go, let's go up here. Can you hear that at all? Okay, let's go
Barely.
here. It's, I don't know where that's coming from. I don't think we have anything that's on. Okay, on Zoom. Can you hear that at all?
Here,
Settings,
it's,
let's go to sound.
I don't know where that's coming from. I don't think we have anything that's on.
Let's turn that down.
So we're gonna go here, can you hear that at all? Here,
Settings. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's adjust that. Automatically adjust microphone volume. How's that? Maybe that'll be a help. Oh, that was good, huh? Test 1, 2, 3. That helped. Test 1, 2, 3, 4.
What'd you do?
I don't know. I just took automatically join computer audio when joining.
that was good, huh?
Ringtones I took off. That doesn't have anything. Automatically adjust microphone volume
I just took automatic.
for live performance.
Audio when joining.
So I think we're good, honey.
That was good.
Or Steve.
Ringtones I took off.
1, 2, 3, 4. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. It still has a little bit of.
Automatically adjust microphone volume.
Okay, so we'll
Close
that
for
for
live
now.
performance. Audio when joining. So I think we're
And
good.
back to
honey.
meeting.
Ringtones
Okay, we're there, and then we'll go back
1, 2, 3.
so we
4,
see
test.
where we
1,
are
2, 3,
on
4.
YouTube.
A little
Oh,
bit of
here we go.
Automatically adjust microphone volume.
Okay, so we'll,
Close that for live performance. Audio when joining. So I think we're
And
good.
back to
honey.
meeting. Okay, we're there, and then we'll go back
1, 2, 3.
so we
4,
see
test.
where we are on YouTube. Oh, here we go.
Automatically adjust microphone volume.
Okay, we're there, and then we'll go back to where we are on YouTube. Oh, here we go. So we don't hear the background. Hello, everyone. We're getting ready for tonight's show. I hope there's not too much feedback. This is our first show, so we're really excited. And we're going to be going live here on YouTube at 5:04. Hello, everyone. We're getting ready for tonight's show. I hope there's not too much. It could be a little louder, huh? So we're really excited. And we're going to be going live here on YouTube at 5:04. Hello, everyone. We're getting ready for tonight's show. It's doubling it. It could be a little louder. I think we have to.
We're really excited. And we're gonna
It's
be
better
going
on
live,
here
here
and
on
less up
YouTube at,
here.
5:04. Hello, everyone.
We're
ready
getting
for
a double
tonight's show.
feedback. It's doubling it. We go live here. That doesn't help. So we go here.
And
It's better here and less up. Can we hear that? No.
No.
Bring it. So I think we go live here. That doesn't help. So we go here.
And it's better here.
and less up. Can we hear that? We're working it out. Zoom. So I think we go live here. That doesn't help. So we go here. Usually if I turn it off here,
We hear that?
it helps. We're working it out. Zoom.
Weird.
So I think
We go live here, that doesn't help. We go here.
usually if I turn it off here,
We hear that?
it helps. Usually when I'm on here,
We're working it out.
that is not what I want to do.
No.
It helps. Usually when I'm on here,
Working it out.
that is not what I want to do. All right, let's see if we can, now if it can hear me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope. Trying to get it without a feedback. All right, let's see if we can, now if it can hear me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, no feedback. That's good. We'll take it.
Trying to get it without a feedback. All right, let's see if we can, now if it can hear me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello and
No
welcome
feedback.
everyone to the Cosmic
That's
Oracle
good.
Show
We'll take it. Trying to get it without a feedback.
with your host, Barbara Jean Lindsay, and
Steve Colburn.
All right, let's see if we can, now if it can hear me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4.
hello and
No
welcome
feedback.
everyone to the Cosmic
That's good.
Oracle
We'll
Show
take it. Trying to get it without a feedback.
with your host, Barbara Jean Lindsay, and
Steve Colburn.
it's being live streamed, but we're okay. Hello and welcome everyone to the Cosmic Oracle Show. It is March 22nd, Friday. We're coming to you live from Los Angeles County, Sierra Madre, and we want to thank you for tuning in to the Cosmic Oracle Show. We're just getting everything. We're trying a new format and a whole new thing. And so we'll be back right after this word from our sponsor. So hello and welcome everyone to Cosmic Oracle Show. Thanks for tuning in to Revolution Radio. You can go to revolution.radio, that's revolution.radio, and give whatever you can, $5, $10 to keep us on the air. We really appreciate that in advance. Thank you again for promoting us everywhere to all of your friends. This is our 10th year doing the Cosmic Oracle Show. We're really thrilled to be here. I'm a master psychic, been doing psychic readings for over 30 years, and I love what I do. And we'll be doing a meditation at the end of the show tonight. If everything goes well, we got to get this all together technically. And so thank you again for giving generously to my work and to Steve Colburn's work. And Steve, if you want to tell me a little bit about your work as well. If everything goes well.
Yeah, I'm a material scientist, and I'm also an expert on alien implants. I used to work with Dr. Roger Lear for several years, and analyzed implants that came out of my body and other people's bodies that were participating in this project. And I scanned people for recent alien contact and for the presence of alien implants. And if anybody wants a scan, give me a call at 805-625-2549 and make an appointment. And it's the presence of alien implants. You're probably in for some interesting data if you are an experiencer and you choose to have the service.
Fantastic. Yay. I'm excited. I'm excited about the work that you do and that you're new here to co-hosting with the Cosmic Oracle Show. So we hope maybe another 10 years of doing this. What?
Well, let's hope so.
Hey, at this point, we definitely need, we have someone who has volunteered to help us. So next week, hopefully we will have our monitor here. This is kind of a test this week on YouTube as well. To we definitely need we have a yeah, it's getting a double feedback, I think, on everything.
Yeah, we've had lots of feedback problems today. It just arose all of a sudden. We're not sure what the problem is here.
Yeah, we're trying to work on it though. We really are. And so I don't know quite how to fix it either, because usually on here I can go here and I can so let's try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's test it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now it seems to be working. But I don't know if we're still live where we wanted to be. Yes, we are. Okay, let's just see what happens. We'll see what our problems are so that we can get them figured out.
Test it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
And so today we have a really interesting subject for you that we wanted to talk about on the Cosmic Oracle Show. I have a dear sweet friend who was interested in this subject. And so she called me and she asked me if we would find out some information, do some research, and then get back to you. And so that's what we're doing here. And I hope that feedback's gone so we can talk about cloud seeding and cloud seeding and its concepts, right? So what is cloud seeding, right? The basic idea, and I'm coming from a very uninformed area of this, but I do have curiosity, and so they produce a weather modification technique that improves a cloud's ability to produce rain or snow by introducing tiny ice nuclei into certain types of sub-freezing clouds. Would you say, what do you want to add to that, Steve?
Yeah, and they either use dry ice or silver iodide for the most part. Those seem to be the most effective. They both provide nuclei for the droplets to condense and form larger droplets that fall as rain. And dry ice also works by cooling the cloud, which makes it more likely it's going to rain or snow.
Mhm. So the basic idea of cloud seeding is that rain needs certain particles or nuclei, and so before it can fall. And so the silver iodine or
Yeah,
iodide.
many times clouds do not form rain not because they don't have enough water, but because the air is too pure and there's not enough particulates for the droplets to condense on. That's a basic chemical principle that crystallization or droplet formation often requires particulates, dust, or salt crystals or something along those lines to condense around.
Right, and so I know living in LA, it looks like it's gonna rain up there. The clouds get all threatening and they get all puffed up, they look all black but more than not, it all dissipates and we get no rain. And so this is all about the basic idea that cloud seeding can bring us some rain. So it's kind of like when we used to do pray to nature, pray for rain dance. I know there's rain dance and there are songs for rain to bring rain, but this is a technological advancement, or even some say a possible technological weapon that can be used to not only help with rainfall and snow as well, right?
Yeah, the technique was apparently invented in 1946, at least in the US, by Dr. Vincent Schaefer. And he first used silver iodide. I assume he experimented with a bunch of different types of crystals, and silver iodide must work the best because it's a very expensive substance, and they wouldn't use it if it didn't work the best. So I suspect that they might have gotten the idea from the Germans, since 1946 was right after the war, and they were incorporating a lot of German know-how into American industry at that time.
So it's been around. And that's during that time period. So 47, so 44. How many years is that?
46. And since then?
Yeah.
That's
100 years?
that's 78 years.
78 years in the making we've had this, okay? But I've heard more and more people starting to talk about it. I remember going snow skiing, and Steve and I talked about it before the show. We're up on Mount Rose here in California, or if that's up in Nevada, where they would, the big ski resorts there would actually make snow. So it's not a new concept.
No, it's not new at all. I remember my grandfather telling me about it back in the early 60s. Cloud seeding can also be used. There's a lot of complex legalities to it because on the average, cloud seeding produces a 5 to 15% increase in rainfall according to most sources. But the thing is that if you seeded clouds that where it was going to rain really hard anyway, you might cause a major flood, and that would be a legal issue.
Right, and so there were, if I remember on our research, there was that, let's see if I can find it, that there was a something, oh gosh, Barbara, help me find it here, that there was an actual law or with the UN about
The UN Treaty Against Weather Modification.
yes, the UN Treaty Against Weather Modification. I forget what year that was, but where they were saying, hey, if we're going to be playing or working with this sorts of thing in the future, then there needs to be some type of armed, some kind of a what would you call that? A treaty, yes.
Yeah, well, that's all well and good, and I'm glad they gave it a try, but I think that sort of a treaty is completely unenforceable because it's too easy to do, and it's covert and deniable, and few people believe in it. So, they use it as a weapon in the Vietnam War, and we have reason to believe that the Russians have been causing floods and droughts in this country for years, using there's other methods to do weather modification. Scalar / Tesla weaponry being among them.
Right. And so how it's done, from what I understand, it's a mixture of the silver iodine or iodide and with some dry ice. Is that a
Yeah,
combination?
if it were me, I would use both together. I mean, the dry ice to cool the cloud and the silver iodide to provide the particulate nucleation sites. You could probably use less silver iodide if you use dry ice at the same time.
And usually it's put in canisters and airplanes, and then the airplanes eject the
Yeah,
chemicals.
there's probably some kind of a dispenser, either a powder dispenser or perhaps they, I think the details are secret, but they probably use a powder dispenser or for the silver iodide, or suspend the silver iodide microparticles in water. And these days, with the availability of nanoparticles of many substances, I think those would be most likely more effective than the microparticles they've used thus far.
And then also I've even read that if you go up to higher mountain ranges, that they'll drop it off on a high mountain range from that between the mountains.
If there were a strong updraft, that would probably work. Yeah. And there often is strong updraft on the windward side of high peaks.
And then also from our research too, it's not just the US doing this. It's
oh no, the Russians have traditionally been a lot more into this than we are. And I've heard the Israelis and the Chinese are into it too. Probably all the major powers have the capability of doing major weather modification.
So whoever controls the weather ultimately controls the world.
That might be a bit of a strong statement, but I think that it would have a lot more influence over what goes on. It's control the weather for sure.
So it's something that we would want to have in our weapon arsenal. Is that a way to say that? Or
yeah, I mean, you can cause floods, droughts, or
so it's something that we would want to have
alternating bouts of the two with a combination of cloud seeding and scalar weaponry. Like HARP is an example of scalar weaponry. They call it High Altitude Auroral Research Project. That's kind of a cover story, but HARP can be used for weather modification, among other things. It can also cause earthquakes and influence the human mind. They call it high altitude.
Right, and the upscale of it is that it can be used as seeding. It won't solve our water problems, but it could be a tool we use. So it's not a a drought busting technology, but it can increase a bad year and make a normal year better. I remember being in California where we were getting really worried that there wasn't enough water and everything, all of the ducts were, dry and then that brings fire and all sorts of different calamities.
Well, apparently, several states spend upwards of $1 million a year on cloud seeding, so they must have had some good results.
Yeah, well, and then I was surprised too of not only the US, but it's not only done by different states. For like Idaho had a cloud seeding program that was very successful, and I forget all the names of the different states.
California was one of them.
California for sure.
I said Wyoming.
Wyoming, yeah, I don't remember.
Wyoming's pretty dry, so it makes sense to have a cloud seeding program.
Yeah, and so it kind of could be considered this cloud seeding an unconventional weapon, right? In some ways.
Well, yeah, I mean, it could be used as a weapon. I mean, can you imagine if, say, a hurricane were about to hit land and you seeded the clouds?
Yeah.
I think that would turn a minor disaster into a major one in some cases.
Right. Oh, and I found it. So after the war, the Convention on the Prohibition of Military or any other hostile use of environmental modification techniques treaty was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly in 1976. This treaty sought to ensure that weather modification would be used only for peaceful purposes. Modification techniques.
Oh, good luck with that. They apparently used it as a weapon of war in Vietnam to flood out the Ho Chi Minh Trail to bog the enemy down in the mud.
Right, I remember.
And it was fairly effective according to what we just read.
Right, that they needed that flooding to stop it, right? Stop them from getting to where they needed to go.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna
Right, I remember.
move supplies from point A to point B a lot faster if it's dry than if it's wet and muddy.
Right. So they're starting to work with it. And the cost of it, is it really cost effective? We were checking out the cost.
The cost per acre is only maybe $1 or $2 per application per acre, so it seems pretty competitive on that basis. The total cost is fairly high. You have to rent transport planes or buy or rent transport planes and use expensive chemicals in fairly large quantities. But yeah, I think it's probably worth doing in many cases.
Right. I mean, I just the idea. Do you think there would be some lash back from Mother Nature herself? Like, you can't fool Mother Nature. Remember growing up with that?
Well, there's always consequences. I mean, if say you want rain in your state in Wyoming, say, that might cause a drought in Kansas or some of the neighboring states. Maybe those clouds would have rained further east, and you drop the moisture out of them artificially, so it's not going to drop moisture where they should have.
Right.
So yeah, there's always consequences.
Yeah. Well, and 6 winters of snow in 2 mountain ranges in southern Wyoming were evaluated. This is a research report on ideal conditions, and seeding increased water precipitation by 5 to 15%. So a cloud seeding program in the region could cost $27 to $214, but it's a pretty low cost scenario. It's $53 to $427 per acre foot in a high cost scenario. So it seems pretty economical for what you get.
Yeah, like I said, yeah, the cost per acre seems pretty competitive. And in terms of cost per acre, it's only $1 or $2. And in terms of acre feet of water dropped, it's like you're saying, like probably $20 to $50. And that sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
It does. And according to Mark Filderman, a former French military officer, outlined several types of unconventional weapons using radio frequencies. He refers to weather war indicating that the US and the Soviet Union had already mastered the know-how needed to unleash sudden climate changes, including hurricanes and drought in the early 1980s, and that these technologies made it possible to trigger atmospheric disturbances
Yeah.
by using extremely low frequency radar waves.
Right, that's what I'm talking about with the Tesla weapons. Tesla weapons use microwave or radio waves modulated with extremely low frequencies. It produces areas of space-time that have a higher density than others, and that can divert the atmospheric rivers, jet streams and such. The Russians are said to have used scalar weapons to divert the jet stream north or south in the US, and either cause flooding in the Midwest or droughts. That's apparently from what I've read. A guy named Dr. Tom Bearden is the authority on this, and he's apparently very familiar with the classified literature on the subject. He was saying that a lot of the floods and the droughts in the Midwest were caused by Russian weather manipulation, and moving the jet stream apparently isn't that hard to do with those types of technologies. I've heard they've gotten more, I don't know the details, but I've heard they've gotten more sophisticated lately in being able to cause pre-existing storm fronts to spin tornadoes or turn into hurricanes, things like that.
Well, and I know this is a little maybe off subject, but I was just thinking about what happened in Paradise and Hawaii. Is this in that, I know with the fires, it's
Well, that's
a whole different,
a different type of technology. Those were most likely orbital high energy laser weapons. They're either in orbit or mounted on aircraft. But no, those fires were not natural. There's no way they're natural.
and so it's the same with the cloud seeding. It is not natural. It is not organic,
Right.
and so we have to be aware of that, and I guess protect our mother nature, right? Protect her, make sure there is some kind of laws of protection. Is that possible in this, to make sure that they don't overdo it or underdo it, or just use it enough? I'm not sure.
Well, it's deniable because people believe in it even today, and also it's easy to do covertly. I mean, if you just need a few planes or a few installations on the ground, hundreds or thousands of miles from the area that you're trying to influence, that's pretty deniable. I mean, nobody's gonna really be able to prove anything.
Well, so in the future, though, it's going to be used more and more, I would think.
Could be. I think it's been used pretty extensively for at least the past 30 years, but I know they were experimenting with it back in the early 60s, and
in the future, though,
I think we're pretty much the Russians and us were pretty much experts on it by the 80s, like you said. And I think it's been used pretty extensively ever since.
Yeah, just seeing some photos of, I don't have anything to share, but the photos of the airplanes with all these canisters, and it brings to mind then with the chemtrails, right?
Yeah.
Is it chemtrails we're seeing, or is it weather modification we're seeing?
Well, the chemtrails could be considered a form of weather modification. The cover story they give is that it's to fight global warming by decreasing the amount of sunlight that reaches the ground. But I think that the real reason that they're doing it is to increase the range of over the horizon radars. They spray barium titanate and aluminum oxide, which are reflectors of radar waves. And in theory, it should increase the range of over the horizon radars. And I think they're probably doing that to detect UFOs. And a secondary purpose of the project is to spray nasty chemicals and pathogens and make people sick. They're reportedly spraying ethylene oxide or ethylene dibromide rather, and mycoplasmas and the pathogens in these chemtrails, as well as the primary ingredients, which are aluminum oxide and barium titanate.
And so it's just something for us to be informed about, right? So we can make some decisions or talk to our congressmen or senators about it, that maybe the everyday Joe needs more information.
Yeah, I haven't been seeing nearly as many chemtrails as we were a few years ago. I heard that while Trump was in office, he really scaled back the size of the program. But Biden's trying to reinstate it. Yeah, I haven't been. But whatever the case, it seems like it's not being done as much as it was 20 years ago. Really scaled back the size of the program.
Well, I just read this part about it, when in the Vietnam War, when we were doing that flooding in the Ho Chi Minh Trail, that they carried out most of the cloud seeding operation. And so they called it, this one particular squadron called, their sign was "Make Mud, Not War." I think that's pretty funny, make
Yeah,
mud,
pretty
not
funny.
war. And so it's something to think about, and we're just working on our new website now. And so we have a lot of new things coming that we think that you will really enjoy coming in the future here on the Cosmic Oracle Show. We're working on. There's just so much, gosh, we're going more and more about control and power. But it doesn't have to all be bad though, right? There's something to this that I think could maybe save a lot of lives too, if there's been
Well,
a
sure,
drought.
it's like any other technology, if it's used by saints, if
Peacemakers.
it's used by saints, then
But it doesn't have to all be.
most likely have beneficial effects, but if it's used by people that are bad, then most likely they're gonna use it for bad things.
As a weapon.
Yeah, I mean, our government loves to weaponize things.
Mhm.
Most likely have beneficial effects, but they've definitely done that with weather modification technology. I mean, the whole slogan, "Make mud, not war," is pretty inaccurate because really anything you do to hinder or destroy a group of people you consider the enemy is making war, no matter whether it's bullets or nuclear bombs or excessive raindrops that you drop on them to hinder them or disrupt their operations. They were definitely wielding a weapon, maybe not a deadly one so much, but weather modification can definitely be a weapon of war, I would say.
Mhm. Well, and let's say if, I'm just saying, if someone says, okay, we're gonna modify where would we pick a place we want to modify? Let's say Palm Springs, because it's 100, can get 120 degrees there. I've lived there. And I mean, in the summer, it would be really nice to be having some rain there, you know, and to bring that in just because I want it. If there is a whole ecosystem that's taken how many years to create itself, that's working for all the little animals, trees, plants, bugs, seen and unseen. So
Yeah, that's
so
true. I mean,
we're playing with that. And just where we just take it and give it a big hit. I don't know, there has to be, I think there's gotta be some more ramifications than we think.
well, you could do a lot of environmental damage if you hit very dry areas that are normally very dry with a lot of precipitation, or if you conversely hit areas that were supposed to have a lot of precipitation with the drought.
Right, well, and the same like with Dubai, that's a big seeding a contract there that they do. And then it's microcosm, macrocosm too. It might help that particular country in that moment, but ultimately that's like tossing a rock in the water, and it has the ripples that follows out that I don't think we do know, or if we do, we don't know about it.
Well, sure, there's always consequences, and it's not always possible to see what the consequences are right away or at all.
It's something to think about though, and not take it lightly, I don't think.
Well, I mean, if these reports are accurate, and I think they are, then a lot of people have been killed in the Midwest by these floods caused by the Russian Tesla weapons.
Well, let's go there for a minute, shall we?
Something to think about, though.
I don't remember the exact dates, but I mean, there have been several floods over the last 30 or 40 years in the Midwest, in the Mississippi Valley in particular, that killed a number of people that were most likely not natural.
Mm-hmm,
I don't remember the exact dates, but I mean, they were probably caused by the movement of the jet streams, caused by these Russian scalar / Tesla weapons.
yeah.
Killed a number of people. Scalar electromagnetic waves, by the way, are a more fundamental form of, I've said this on the air many times, but I'll say it again. Scalar waves are a more fundamental form of electromagnetic radiation that scalar electromagnetic waves has different effects. It can have gravitational or biological effects, and they're a lot like gravity waves, and they have a different form from the standard EM waves they talk about in the textbooks. For those familiar with physics, in the textbooks, the standard EM wave has the electric and magnetic field perpendicular to each other, and the wave propagates in the perpendicular to both of those fields. And the waves are in phase, the fields rather are in phase. Whereas with a scalar wave, the electric and magnetic fields are 90 degrees out of phase. And the electric field points outward from the direction of travel of the wave, as if there's a point charge there. And the magnetic field is 90 degrees out of phase and circles around the direction of travel of the wave. So it's a different form. And one interesting fact is that two interesting facts rather, that the scalar waves, when they interfere, produce standard EM waves. And that's responsible for the so-called near field pattern of an antenna. I wondered how that was possible, but they didn't talk about it in the textbooks I read in physics in school, but I think that's the reason that there's a near field pattern to an antenna, especially ones with complex shapes. And another interesting fact is that according to Dr. Tom Bearden, who seems to be the foremost expert on this subject, scalar waves are absorbed by the nuclei of atoms rather than the electrons like standard EM waves. So since they interact with the nucleus, which has most of the mass, they act like gravity waves under many conditions. Scalar waves are absorbed by the nuclei.
I learned a lot.
The electrons like standard EM waves.
Well, okay, let's go on to HAARP, okay? And so they have the ability to trigger climate change. And I forgot to ask you, what's HAARP? What's
High altitude atmospheric auroral research project, I believe, but that's basically a cover story. It's a Tesla weapon that's designed to do everything from trigger earthquakes and weather modification to controlling the human mind. As I say, these scalar waves can have biological effects, and reportedly one of the effects that they can have is affecting the human brain.
right. Kind of like 432 hertz compared to 440 hertz, that old saying,
Some
right?
of these, some of the ELF waves that HAARP and these other weapons give off are
like 432.
not too good for you and can have effects on the mind.
440 hertz.
Any electromagnetic or sound wave, which is a low frequency and a multiple of 3 hertz, is potentially dangerous or deadly. Fortunately, these ELF waves are fairly difficult to generate. You need very large equipment to do it, but if you can generate them, it can have some interesting effects. There was an incident back in the 50s of a chimney that was just the right length to produce like 6 hertz ELF waves, sound waves, and when the wind blew over it just right, it would produce these sound waves, and a bunch of people got sick around that location. Of a chimney that was in New York City, I believe. Like 6 hertz ELF waves, sound waves.
I'm hearing a feedback again. I'm not quite sure.
I'm not sure what's going on here, but this feedback just started, about, middle of the afternoon today. It
Right.
was fine before that, so it may be some kind of interference. We're not sure what's going on.
Yeah. Well, so we talked a little bit about and the ability, okay, so it goes back even to Tesla weapons, right? Back to good old Tesla,
Yeah,
and some of his papers were taken to, I forget which country they were taken to.
well, he was a native of Yugoslavia, what's now was Yugoslavia, Serbia before that. And, he,
Papers were
had, a lot of papers there, and they were taken by the Russians.
by the Russians,
for
right?
Russia. And,
Right.
what papers he had in the US when he died, were confiscated by the FBI.
Mhm, mhm.
And, he was working on a, unified field theory at the time, and I think the powers that be took those papers and his theory and completed it. I have reason to believe that a lot of what's in the textbooks about advanced physics is not complete nonsense, but there's a lot they've left out or modified. For example, stating that things like anti-gravity and telepathy are impossible, or faster than light travel is impossible. They've modified the so-called laws of physics and that they publish in the textbooks to make people believe that. But all those things are possible in real life. I think on strong reason to believe.
Yeah.
For example, in
Right.
in the 1950s, all the aerospace manufacturers were saying that they were going to do projects to try to fight gravity or nullify gravity, since that's the number one barrier to flight on this planet or any other for that matter. They must have had some success, because by the early to mid '60s, the government was trying to convince people that anybody that believed in anti-gravity was a crackpot. So when you see that pattern, that usually means they've had some success in a certain field of endeavor. By the early to mid '60s,
It's such a big field. I mean, the world is, I always think the world is small, but when you look at it as a seeding project, I guess it's not that small or not that big either.
and we look at it as a what?
As a seeding project overall,
Such a
right?
big field. I mean,
To just seed, if you can seed, let's say the US and Russia seeds it and China seeds what it needs to seed the air. So now we're all fighting for weather control.
I don't know if they're fighting. I don't know if you can stop weather control, but they're all doing it to each other, I'm afraid. We're pretty sure.
So now we're all. I don't know, there's something in it that it doesn't feel right, partly, and a part where it's a good thing if I'm dying of thirst in a particular country or zone. It would be a godsend to have water and it rain, right?
Yeah, like I said, or like you said earlier, I don't think it's a drought busting technology really, but it might be able to increase rainfall by a small percentage even during a drought.
Right, 5 to 15% is kind of what they're saying.
That's probably right on the average. I think under the right conditions, you can get a lot more rainfall out of it than that. Like I would think that if a really big storm or hurricane is about to drop a lot of rainfall anyway, and you see that the clouds on top of that can really produce a deluge.
Right, right. So it can be potentially used as a conquest capable of selectively, right? Selectively destabilizing agriculture and ecological systems.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of crops where if it rains at the wrong time, it's going to be wiped out.
Right. So that also then, if you control the weather, then you would control the agriculture and you would control, that would get into financial.
Yeah, this weather control, I'm sure, has produced a lot of
Also then, if you have.
economic losses for people.
Weather, then you-
Probably more losses than gains.
The
It's,
agriculture and
the
you-
militaries of the different
That
countries
would
have a
get
lot more money to
into
pursue this than
Mhm.
private companies or states do.
Right, right, but if, let's say if I was a farmer and I had 1,000 acres. At $1 an acre, it might be worth it to do some cloud seeding on my farm.
Oh, yeah, if you collected the money from all the farms in the area, then it would be probably,
Right.
you'd probably
Right,
make
but
a
if, let's
pretty
say
good
if I
profit
was
on
a
it.
farmer and I had.
So it's us having a little bit more control.
Have
So
them,
we're.
have them pay $2 an acre, if it costs you $1 an acre, say.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah, if it guaranteed your crop getting the rain that it needed and.
I don't think they can give any guarantees, but, it's just a lucky draw type thing.
Well, and if they're learning about bringing us water, can we do reverse engineer it so that we can stop the snow from falling?
I've never really read, about experiments along those lines, but I would think it would probably be possible. Like say, instead of dropping dry ice, you drop superheated, coals or, some, advanced ceramic with a high specific heat that's heated to a couple thousand degrees or something.
Yeah.
Heat up the cloud rather than cool it down.
Right, I think that you would be able to do that. I would think that you could.
Yeah, I think that'd be harder to do than making it rain, but I think that would be possible.
I love that
Or
idea.
you could just have a plane with a powerful microwave generator and heat up the cloud that way. That'd probably be better.
Mhm. Well, I'm thinking of my friends who live in Ohio who was getting ready to go to work and she got up in the morning and she was rushing and she couldn't open her front door because it was 6 feet of snow.
Yeah, yeah.
And it stopped everything from happening there. But we're able to adapt. So maybe there's some adaptation to all of this too, if we can adapt to it.
Well, yeah, people are pretty adaptable. You can adapt
Mhm.
to almost anything, but I mean,
But we're able to.
excessive snowfall or excessive rainfall can cause a lot of
Damage,
economic damage for sure.
right, and physical damage.
Physical
Death.
damage too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I think hundreds or thousands of people have died from these Russian weather attacks over the years and
Right,
floods.
right. So it could be death to people, but also to plants and to livestock.
According to Bearden, the Russians have the philosophy that they're not just gonna attack you like a rattlesnake with deadly attacks. Sometimes they attack you with non-deadly attacks that are deniable, like the boa constrictor as opposed to the rattlesnake.
Mhm.
Strangle your trade and such.
Mhm. Yeah, it's something that to take, living in LA, we don't have anything to talk about weather here because it's beautiful weather all the time and it's sunny and it's more sun and then we're gonna have some more sun and a little bit of sun. But lately that's been changing a little bit. I don't know what the long range of it is, but we've been having a little bit more rain than normal here in LA. I was gonna take that somewhere, but I don't know where I was gonna take that thought. But it's where we talk about other things other than the weather because it's just a given. I think that's it. We've taken it for granted that it's just a given situation that we just work with. And one of the reasons why a lot of people are in LA is because of the weather, right?
Right.
It has a good constant weather. So if we could use it as a weather control, then for some of these more harsh weather zones, like in the Midwest, we go and see they could all be California-like. Isn't that a scary concept for them, right?
I don't know if you'd make it California-like or not, but maybe. I mean, I don't know how advanced they've gotten with this stuff, but
We go and see they could all be California-like. Isn't that a scary concept?
you might be able to bring up warm air masses from the south or something in some of these colder areas. Maybe. There's limitations to this technology for sure, but they've probably gotten a lot more sophisticated with it than they were in the 80s.
Yeah, and you know what I'm thinking too, is if we're going to be going off planet, it's just something that we would take with us off planet.
Oh, I'm sure they would.
Right,
Why not weather modification on Mars or
right,
whatever?
right. And what would that do to that ecosystem, right?
Yeah, it doesn't rain very often on Mars, but it rains once in a great while. I know it snows on Mars. They should, one of the landers showed it snowing on Mars near the North Pole.
Right, right. And what
Yeah,
would
it's
the-
just a
what
thought.
would
I'm
that
thinking,
do?
okay, if we have this, then we can bring it with us off planet. And I don't know, what would it be like on the moon if there was an atmosphere that we could change or modify it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if giving the moon an
Yeah,
I think giving the moon an atmosphere in certain areas is probably pretty practical. Giving the whole thing an atmosphere may not, but hard to say.
If we're gonna just be there from this point to this point, maybe just see that those 100 acres, something like that.
Mhm.
That would be interesting. I bet they've already done that.
I've heard that if the moon's gravity is so low and the temperature is kind of high there, I've heard that I read somewhere that if you gave the moon an Earth-like atmosphere, it would escape within a few decades.
That would be interesting.
Oh,
I bet they've already done that.
that's interesting.
Yeah, the only reason the Earth has such a thick atmosphere is the gravity is pretty darn high down there.
Right, it is. Would this have anything to do with that as a negative?
Not sure I understand the question.
Okay, so if we're cloud seeding and we're changing the weather, would that have any kind of effect on gravity ultimately in the big picture?
Right, it is.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, all right.
The mass of the atmosphere is pretty low compared to the mass of the rocky parts of the planet.
Okay, so
Okay.
if we're cloud seeding and we're changing the weather with that.
It's such a delicate system. I was just thinking about, in Egypt where they had the Nile, it would come each season, it would flood. And you could count on that flooding and the people counted on that flooding and everything was in that system of it flooding and there was a beautiful natural organic flow to that. And then when they decided to dam it all up, I mean, the lotus flowers didn't bloom anymore and I mean,
Don't even get me started about dams. Dams are an environmental and often an economic disaster. I mean, first of all, in a major river like the Nile, you put a dam there, you can't navigate the river anymore. That's a huge disadvantage. So you're strangling your own trade.
mhm,
And as you say, the economic ecosystem's affected, it doesn't flood anymore, and the soil's affected, and lots of animals become extinct or
right.
go elsewhere, and this has a lot of negative effects. I mean, yeah, you have more water and you have hydroelectric power, but I think that it's probably better to generate electricity by other means than hydroelectric power. Also, they're dangerous. I mean, statistically, dams are far more dangerous than nuclear plants as far as number of people killed by them
Mhm.
over the years. It's funny how people are so paranoid about things that might kill you of cancer in 20 years, like radiation, but they're less paranoid about things that will kill you outright, like a dam breaking and drowning
Right.
your
It's funny how people
person.
Yeah, it's just, I guess I'm looking at the bigger picture. And so, in the little picture, on a little scale, it can be used for many good reasons. And if it's weaponized, it could be used for good reasons, but also it has that, like a Frankenstein, what is it, like a,
Frankenstein monster.
yes, side to
Oh.
it,
We had a dam break, dams break fairly frequently as these things go.
Mhm.
They had the Grand Teton Dam disaster in Idaho back in the 70s, and they had a dam break right around here, I think around 1920, the San Francisco Dam.
Hmm.
This guy in Mulholland used to be the LA County engineer, chief engineer, had this dam built, and the geologist told him it wouldn't hold, and unfortunately they were right.
Wow.
And they were still finding bodies downstream on the Santa Clara, on towns in the Santa Clara River, like Santa Paula and Fillmore, decades later.
Huh.
And I believe he committed suicide over it.
Oh.
Unfortunately, they were right. And they were still.
I'm an
Probably,
empath.
probably poetic justice.
Well, you know how empaths are. We feel everything.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're wrapping it up for this first hour on Cosmic Oracle Show. And we got to kind of dive into the subject, at least talk about it, about the cloud seeding projects here on the planet. If you have any questions or you have any ideas or wisdom you'd like to share, you can contact Steve at by calling you, right, about it?
Yeah, my website is down at the moment, but you can, anybody that wants a scan or wants to give me information or talk to me about aliens or their abduction experiences can call me at 805-625-2549 and leave a message if I don't pick up, and I'll get back to you. Again, that's 805-625-2549.
Right, and you can meet me at the Cosmic Oracle .com. Actually, it's BarbaraJeanLindsey.com. That's BarbaraJeanLindsey.com, and sign up for a reading. I'd love to give you a psychic reading and help you direct some changes that might be coming up for you, or give you some ideas of how to vector your life at this time to become more vital and free and open. So thanks, Steve, again for co-hosting our first hour. And thanks to Revolution Radio for having us on the Cosmic Oracle Show, our 10th year. And a belated, I think it was yesterday, but I'm not sure. I think it might be today, Keith Roberts, is his show here on Revolution Radio. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Keith, if you're listening in. All our love to you and your wonderful life. And from there, I think we'll be signing off just for this first hour. And for those on Revolution Radio, we'll have a little break, but we can continue here on Cosmic Oracle Show. Let's just talk about some things. What's been on your mind lately, Steve? And we're gonna kind of just go there and kind of free fall it for a little bit, unless there's something that's on your mind that you'd like to
All right,
talk about.
I'll try to think of something.
Okay. So we just have 2 more minutes, and then we'll be going to Revolution Radio. It's sure an honor to be on Revolution Radio all these years. I never thought I would be doing 10 years and ever. You know, it's still like yesterday in some ways. My first show here on Cosmic Oracle Show. So really a shout out to all of those that have been working on Revolution Radio. It's an all volunteer station. It means no one gets paid, and we're here because we just want the truth out. So you can go to revolution.radio, that's revolution.radio, and give whatever you can, $5, $10, and keep us on the air. We really appreciate you, and thank you in advance. So, Mr. Colburn, I think we'll be going on that break right now, and as we turn on to our next half, the second half of the Cosmic Oracle Show, with your host, Barbara Jean Lindsey, and our new co-host, Steve Colburn. So we will be back at 6:04. And thank you for tuning in once again to the Cosmic Oracle Show. And a shout out to Keith, happy birthday. And thank you for tuning in once again to the Cosmic Oracle Show. All right. So that's our portion on cloud seeding, everyone. Let's see if I can fix this. There we go. All right, so we'll be right back. We're taking just a quick break, and we'll be back on our second part, where we're going to be kind of talking about a few things that have been coming up. You know, I just I found a book that a friend gave me, and it's called The Symbols the Universal Symbols and Laws of Creation. And this is by Archie Golden Light Eagle, who passed away, passed to the next world. And I don't know, I've been looking at his book today and it just kind of spoke to me. So I thought I'd share it with you, the symbols, the universal symbols and laws of creation. So maybe we'll just pick a symbol for a moment and go to that. The great healer. The great healer invokes cosmic judges to resolve interdimensional issues. I am the great healer, the doctor. I come from the central sun, from that place, Andromeda. I'm here to bring you knowledge of the Council of 12 that are the judges that do sit before the Creator in your sister galaxy, Andromeda. I'm here to share with you how to resolve problems in your life that stem from star relationship. So that's wonderful. So anyway, so I was talking about him and he came up on my radar today, you know, like when we're sitting in meditation and you get a little ping from someone. I got a little ping today from Chief Golden Light Eagle. So I don't know why. I only got to meet him that one time and I had just an amazing time with him. So we really miss him. I know that the Star Conference is coming up April 6th, 7th, and 8th at the Star Knowledge Conference. You can look that up on Facebook in Ohio. It's about 75 miles from Cincinnati. There's going to be a wonderful Star Knowledge Peace Summit and the total eclipse there. A total eclipse they're going to be able to see, I think, 97% of that. So a whole bunch of amazing people worldwide are coming together and sing songs and speak poetry and dance and have exchanges of information and wisdom. So it's when a gathering on a universal scale. And I'm sure the star people will be there and to talk and give their wisdom as well. So that'll be coming up, the Star Knowledge Conference in Ohio through Terry Rivera. Terry A. Rivera puts that on along with her husband Thomas and a whole crew and staff of people. I had the ability to go. It was really fun and to work there at the Serpent Mound, right above the Serpent Mound. So there's still a part of me that's kind of going there as spirit and gathering information and knowledge and wisdom, and then bringing it back, right, to share with you here on the Cosmic Oracle Show. Thank you for tuning in this evening, our very first one on YouTube together. Thanks for hanging in there. We're going to get better. I am going to have a moderator and we are going to have a team that we're putting together to help us as well. So if there's certain things that you want us to talk about on the show, you can feel free to reach out to me, the Cosmic Oracle at gmail.com or Barbara at esoterra.us, either of those. And we'd love to have you as a guest or talk to us about the work that you're doing in helping the world be a better place, right? Where we can raise our consciousness, raise our vibrations, and expand our consciousness, right? So that's what we're about. That's what we do. So thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. And Steve will be back with us shortly. So let me fix this really quickly. And we'll head back. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone. And Steve will be back with us shortly. Let me fix this really quickly. And I'll see if I can find. Okay. Okay, let me see if I can fix this. Speaker. Okay, welcome back. Ooh, let me fix that. Welcome back to the Cosmic Oracle Show, Part 2. This is your host, Barbara Jean Lindsay, along with Steve Colburn, should be back shortly. And it's Friday. I don't know about you, but I'm thinking like the week's going by so fast. It's like I can't believe it so fast. I just feels like I just left yesterday. And we're talking to everybody and to all of our listeners here on the Cosmic Oracle Show. And and there's so much going on everywhere. And I just heard about the big fire in Moscow and that going on, that's our hearts go out to all the family of the people that were um victimized in the Moscow concert hall, the Moscow fire. It's pretty pretty scary, right? Pretty, I just want to find peace. It seems so simple, right? That we want to have peace on the planet, and then the fear that gets instilled where you're just going to a concert with your family to have a little fun and raise the vibration, have some love, and then this terrible thing happens, and so you have to learn to feel safe, how to feel safe in this world, right? And feel connected to one another instead of against one another, but where we're more together than when we're different, right? But I understand there's different ideas of how this world should be and who it should be run by. But I'm a peacemaker at heart, but also, don't mess with me either, because I will defend my right as well. So it's I guess a peaceful warrior is what you call it. And there's also the rainbow warrior. So from all different kinds of backgrounds that are coming to help at this time of need and such chaos and stress and upheaval and downright evil on the planet, right? So welcome to the show. Thanks for listening. There's 2 watching, and that's a beginning, right? We'll start there. Who knows, right? And so I was gonna do tonight, I don't know where Steve is, so I'll just work until he gets here, right? And I was thinking of starting a meditation. I hope you can hear this. We were having trouble earlier. And so there's no way to let you know, but so we're gonna go ahead in the second half and start a meditation with you. I hope that you can hear it okay. I'm gonna go and see if there's any way we can add this just a little bit louder here. Let's see what happens. Oh, that's a little bit better, huh? Is there any feedback? I don't know. Are we getting feedback? Hear it okay? I'm gonna go and see if I guess we're not. I think we're doing okay. So let's go ahead and you'll have to raise it on your end. Let's see if we get a double feedback here at all. I don't know. Are we getting feedback? Okay, just give me one more second. I'm gonna try. Okay. Someone said they're not able to hear us. Let's go ahead and you'll have to raise it on your end. Let's see if we get a double feedback here at all. I don't know. Are we getting feedback? Oh. Are we getting feedback? Okay, just give me one more second. I'm gonna try. Okay. Someone said they're not able to hear us. Let's go ahead and you'll have to raise it. Okay. Well, let's see. Hang in there. We're almost there. Are we getting feedback? Okay, just give me one more second. I'm gonna try. Okay. Someone said they're not able to hear us. And you'll have to raise. Okay, okay. Let's see how we're doing. Let's see. Hang in there. We're almost there. Are we getting feedback? Okay, just give me one more second. Okay, this will be our last time. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Test. Okay, okay. Let's see how we're doing. Let's see. Hang in there. We're almost there. Are we getting feedback? Okay, just give me one more second. Okay, this will be our last time. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Test. Okay,
Okay. Let's see how we're doing. Hang in there, girl.
Yeah, it is. We are doing that. So we're going to do it this way. So I hope you can hear me now. Okay, that is definitely not working. All right. Oh, okay, we do have someone who's going to help us next week, so I hope that's helpful. And okay, that is definitely not working. Okay, all right. Okay, we do have someone who's going to help us next week. I'm just going to go ahead and start. And we're going to go ahead and start with a meditation and for expanded consciousness and awareness. And this is a meditation that I used to do with my classes. Go ahead and start. Oh, shoot, here we go. And now I'm getting feedback for sure. Start with a meditation. Okay, so I'm for expanded consciousness and awareness. And this is a meditation that I used to do with my classes. Oh, it sounded pretty good. Here we go. And now I'm getting feedback for sure. So I think we're okay. Okay. So I'm just going to do it here and go there. And so, yeah, so this is a class. I teach classes. I have a school. It was called Esoteric U for a long time. Then it was called Esoteric University for a while. It was called Esoterra for a while. And so it's just a school that I've had over the years where I teach you psychic abilities and intuitive abilities. Esoteric University for a while. And how to tune into those abilities. And so we're going to start off with, if you could go ahead and just close your eyes if you're not operating machinery or driving a car. And if you could just go ahead and take a moment and close your eyes. And just take an out breath, right? A lot of times during the day, we get so rushed and we're so hurried that we forget to take a time out just for ourselves, just for a moment, to remind us of who we are and why we're here and how we are connected. We really are connected to our neighbors and to our family and to our friends and to our communities and to our states and to our countries and to our worlds, right? We are all here living on this beautiful jewel of a planet called Mother Earth and having this experience. And so it's nice to have this time to recognize that and recognize yourself and as a spirit in this body, in this human body, you know. Who were you before? I know I do past life readings on people and I give them information about past lives. And the reason why we do that is we sometimes by looking at a past life, it can help you give you information about why you do certain things the way you do this lifetime, and it can be used as a tool to help you have a better life, a more vital life, right? And so the way I do it is I try and do meditation with my students. We do a little bit of a meditation, and so I'd like to share that with you today. And so if you're not driving or operating machinery, just go ahead and close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And then let it out. We're not going to count or anything. We're just going to take a deep breath in and out. And when you go out, just go, just give it a voice. All right. So deep breath in and then let it out. And out. Going to take a deep breath in. And each time you take that breath in and out, your body will become lighter and lighter and brighter and brighter. and lighter and lighter and brighter and brighter. So each breath in and each breath out, becoming
Time you take that breath
lighter
in
and
out,
lighter and brighter and brighter.
lighter
And
lighter
relaxed and
brighter
relaxed
lighter.
and more relaxed. And each time you hear my voice, you're beginning to become more relaxed. So we're going to start at relaxing at the tip of our toes
Lighter and lighter.
and to our
brighter
ankles. And we're going to just relax every muscle, every tingly little thing in our body, every molecule, and up to our knees, relaxed, and up to our thighs and around our hips and up through our stomach and our back and our lower back and that whole stomach area and that second and third chakra. Go ahead and rub your tummy, that Buddha tummy, and tell it it's doing a good job. This is where we store and work with all of our emotions. So we can just say, hello, you're doing a really good job there. And from that second, third chakra, we're going to go up to the chest, to the heart, and remember that you're of love, you come from love, you are love, and you will return to love. And so part of your work here on the planet is remembering how to love yourself, right? First and foremost, how can you love anyone else around you if you don't even love yourself? And we're sometimes conditioned to only see ourselves through negative eyes. And so let's put on some positive eyes. And today, maybe name 3 things that you like about yourself. I remember there was a time when I didn't have 3 things that I liked about myself at all, right? And so 3 things that you might like about yourself, and just say them out loud. Okay, so today, I really like these earrings. I love them. In fact, they really make me happy. And these are from my friend who does the Sasquatch conferences.
Okay, so
And you can look her up, and her name is Kelly Rainbow Butterfly. And she made me these little beautiful little alien face earrings. And you can order them on her website. So they're really beautiful. They're very light. So that's something that makes me really happy. And I like my glasses. I finally got a pair of glasses that fit that I really kind of like. And I'm liking my gray hair going on. I know a lot of people think, you're 72, Barbara, you should cut your hair and have some style, right? And so I just kind of like my gray hair for now. And so my grandmother used to have long gray hair, and I have helped her braid it at night before she went to bed. And I said, well, one of these days I'm going to have long gray hair like that. And so I do. And it's kind of in reverence to my grandma Lindsay, who I spent some summers with as a little girl, and she brought me a lot of love and joy. And so that's something that makes me happy. So find those 3 things that make you happy, and go ahead and look at yourself through those happiness eyes, all right? So from this heart, you're going to go on up to the 5th chakra, where you can speak your truth, and that you're in a safe place to speak your truth and know your truth and be the truth, stand in that truth, right? And then from this 5th chakra, it's going to go down the shoulders and out down your arms and into your hands, and then out your fingertips, this beautiful light that you are. You're filling up your whole body, your whole chest, your neck, your shoulders, kind of release those shoulders, right? Release that. Any of those burdens that you've been holding on, just throw them out, right? For right this moment, there's no worries, no cares. We're creating sacred space. And then from this space, go ahead and clear your head and your face and your eyes and your lips and your nose and your ears, the top of your head, the back of your head, and just give yourself a beautiful light on, a bright light, white light within you, so much that you cleared your energies and cleared any negativity and cleared any energy that's not you, can ground down through your feet, down through the center of the planet. And you can allow up ahead of you, up above you, way above your head, this beautiful, beautiful cloud. We were talking about clouds earlier, seeding clouds, where you can seed your own cloud of love and vitality and good nature and nurture and vital health and wealth and wisdom and knowledge and your star essence. You can reach out to your star essence and take your star essence until it gets bigger and bigger and brighter and brighter and lighter and lighter and bigger and bigger and brighter and brighter and lighter and lighter till it's like so full and so filled up with this beautiful effervescent light. And then we're just gonna open the trap door and let it start to filter down to our crown chakra, down through our head and fill our head and our face and the back of our head and our hair and our neck. It's just gonna fill up with this beautiful bright white light all the way down our shoulders and out our hands and into our fingertips. Gonna go down the neck to the back of the neck, around the shoulders, of the front, the back of the upper back, the lower back, filled in the stomach area, really feel in that stomach area with this bright, white, loving light. Fill in the abdomen, in the back, the lower back, the buttocks, your vital parts there, your upper thighs, your knees, your legs, your feet, your toes. And just go ahead and sit in this energy that your a bright white light, so much glowing with vitality and energy that you're glowing from the inside out. Okay, so you have the skin dressing on the outside, but you're glowing so much. You're so brighter and lighter that you're filled with this love and this connection to the earth and to the universe and to the cosmos. And you can say hello to any star family, star beings that are around. If you'd like for them to come in closer to your auric field, my auric field's out about 20 feet. I was going to say 20,000 feet. It can do that. But I'm going to just bring it in around me a little bit tighter, closer around me, about 3 feet. Right, and I'm gonna put up my protection field. So you can put up your protection. And then go ahead and sit in this bubble that you've created, the sacred space. You know it's your energy because your energy feels good. So it's gonna take this time, a little time out, a me time, right? A nurturing time that we can just relax and let go and relax and let go. I don't need to achieve anything. I don't need to create anything. I don't need to do anything, but just be. We're so programmed to do and to create and to manifest and to go, 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 do, boom, 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 boom. Right? So we're just gonna slow it down, slow it way down so that we're fully in our body, fully activated. So we're activated on, all of our codons are on, and we're in present time, right? You know, sometimes we're in the past, sometimes we're in the future, but we're just gonna be here now. One of my favorite books of all time, Be Here Now. If you're from my genre or age, we know that book, Be Here Now. And I love his book he wrote much later. It's called Still Here. And I just got the biggest kick out of that. So hopefully you know who I'm talking about here. And we know that book. And we're just going to take a moment. And maybe there's two of me showing up right at the same time. So we live in a simultaneous universe here. So let's just take a moment and just be. Right? Just be you. I'm being me. What are you doing? I'm just being me. I'm just hanging out, seeing what that's like, enjoying this moment in time with no pressure and no place to be or nothing I should be having to do, letting go of any worries or burdens. Enjoying this moment in time. Great. And then from this space, we're just gonna just take a little walk outside the body. We're gonna find ourselves walking on a path, a beautiful path, barefoot. The earth feels just right underneath our feet. Soft, beautiful earth. The smell of the ocean breeze coming in through the right. You can see as you're walking down your narrow path. To the right, across the meadow, is the beautiful ocean. Coming and going with its waves. You can hear the waves and you can smell the sea. You can see the birds. And to the left is another meadow full of small flowers. And up against the left is a huge mountain. The beautiful mountain, and you can continue to walk down the path with the mountains on the left and the ocean to the right. And as you're walking, you're going to go down the trail to the right. And you're going to walk down the trail. It's not too hard, not too steep. It's just right. And you're going to go across and then down, around again between two big mountains, one on the left, one on the right. And you're going to start to wind down this trail. And as you're going down and around and down and around, you're going to step down and across. You're going to see out in the distance a dock, where there's a dock and some boats tied up. But one of the boats that you really love has a dragon head on it. It's carved wooden dragon with beautiful sails, right? And that's the boat that's been waiting for you. And as you walk, continue down the earth and you step your feet the first time onto the dock, you start to walk towards this dragon boat. And at the dragon boat, there's a very gigantic man, about 8 feet tall, square shoulders, has on a beautiful uniform. And he says to you telepathically, welcome, sir or milady. And he puts out his hand, and you're going to reach into your spiritual pocket and take out 3 gold coins and give them to him. And he takes them and he puts them in his pouch, and he opens the way for you to step on board. And as you step on board, he shows you your place to sit at the front of the bow of the boat. And as you start to push off, you feel it gently move with the water beneath you, and you're comfortable. He brings you a shawl to put around your shoulders. And as he pushes off, you start to go down the river stream. And it's pretty wide at this time. It has a mossy bed on the right and a few town villages on the left. And as you go out, you're going to go out quite a long ways, and you're going to go to the right and to the left, and then it starts to get narrower. And so that there's just you can fit through comfortably with your boat, but there's about 3 feet clearance on each side. And as you go around the boat and you're going down this beautiful, gentle stream, fog starts to come in. And you can barely see in front of your face, and you're sitting there and you're not afraid or anything. You're going, whoa, what's happening now? All this fog has come in, and I can feel the water. I can hear the oarsmen, and everything's in order. And I see out in the distance, you see a light, a small glowing lantern. And as you see the glowing lantern, the fog starts to dissipate. And as it does, you come up to another dock, and you tie up. The oarsman ties up the rope, and he gently steps you out onto the dock. And as you do, a beautiful young person in a cloak and a robe says they have been waiting for you, and they take your hand, or they show you to follow them up a path. And with their light, you go up and around and around and up and around and around till you gently step up on this beautiful clearing on top of the hill. And as you start to walk towards, you see this beautiful turquoise pool of water, a round circular tube of water in the moss with the moss around it. beautiful. It had some butterflies and some beautiful small waterfall nearby, and to the right are these wonderful beings that are waiting for you. And so they say hello to you and to come this way, and you walk over towards them, and as they put up a curtain, you are undressed, and they put on a beautiful gossamer gown or beautiful clothing that you've never seen, that kind of made or spun from honey webs, and it's gorgeous, and there's different emeralds and jewels encrusted into the fine garment that you are wearing. And as you start to wear it, you walk back towards the big, beautiful turquoise pool, and as they turn away, you drop the beautiful robe and you step into the water. As you step into the warm water, you turn over onto your back and you begin to float. Oh my God, you're floating in this beautiful, magical turquoise pool. And as you look up, you can see all the stars in the sky, the dark sky. And you're in this beautiful lit turquoise pool of warm water. And you relax and you let go, and you relax and you let go. And you relax and you let go, and you relax and you let go, and you're just floating, and you become one with everything. You just become this floating, beautiful, not a care in the world, as you become connected to the starlight, and you become bathed in these stars that are starlight, and you become one with the starlight, and your body begins to bright shining like the stars themselves, and you begin to just shine back to the stars. As they shine on you, you shine back to them, and you stay in this beautiful, warm, liquid turquoise moon pool as long as you like, right? You're just laying there feeling wonderful, feeling beautiful, feeling healthy and strong and vibrant and gorgeous, and wow, it's so alive, so very, very alive. And you're in it just one more minute, and your breathing is fine. You love having your beautiful body, and your body and your soul and your mind are all aligned and in tune, and it feels incredibly beautiful. And so then you see one of your helpers walk backwards and put up their hand to tell you that it's time for you to come out. So as you walk up the stairs, they put the robe back on you, and you're magically dried off. Your hair is bright, shining, and you feel absolutely, totally amazing. And as you're walking, your feet touch the ground, and it feels so good, and you feel so much lighter and so much brighter. And you just stand there for a moment, and you give thanks to the pool, and thanks to the beings, and thanks to this beautiful place, this magical place. This is your place. And as you do, you step behind the curtain, and they go ahead and signal for you to put back on your street clothes. And so you do. And then your original guide comes to you with the fairy lantern and takes you back across the mountain, and you look back and you wave on your helpers. Thank you. Thank you for the beautiful healing and for the energy. And you start to walk down and around and down and around back the hillside the way that you came. And you walk around and down and around and down, and then across back to the dock. And you give your friend a hug, and you reach into your spiritual pocket and you give your guide a small gift, and they can give you a gift, and you thank them for leading you to the sacred turquoise pool. And they tell you whatever it is that they want to tell you, that you can come back anytime. And so then you go onto the dock, and as you walk down the dock, there is your 8-foot giant, who's the boat is facing the opposite way that you came. Goes, hi, my lady, or kind sir. And again, you reach into your spiritual pocket and you give him 3 golden coins, and he takes them and you have entrance onto the boat. And then you find your seat and he wraps the cloak around you. And as he pushes off to the water, you begin to go back down the way that you came. As he pushes out, you go down and around and down and around. And as you're going down and around and down and around, and then it becomes straighter and it becomes wider and straighter and wider and straighter and wider. And you see the towns on the right and you see where you began. Oh, and you just kind of don't really want to go back now, but it is time to go back. And so he stops at the dock and you feel that little bitty tug that you're up and he's tied on the boat onto the dock. And then he helps you off the boat, gives you back the cloak, you give him back the cloak. And you thank him and he thanks you. And then you walk back to the left and up the dock and you come back the way that you came, around that gentle mountain slope, around and around and up and around and around and up and then around and around and down until you come to that meadow and you see the ocean on the left and the mountain on the right. And you go ahead and your feet hit that path the way that you started, with the sun shining on you beautifully, beautifully. And you see your home there in the distance. And as you're getting closer to your home, you see your door where you are, you see your beautiful body. And then you're going to go up above the roof of your house and you're going to come down to the corner of your room and you're going to just say hello to your body and what a beautiful job it's done. And then you go ahead and go back into your body from your crown and then into your heart, and then fill up your whole body from your toes to your head, from your head to your toes, with all your bright white light that you receive, that starry white light. And just sit in this starry white light and remember who you are, who you really are, and why you're here. And then go ahead and open your eyes and shake out your body and see what that was like for you, right? Sometimes, we just forget who we are. We just need someone to remind us, right? Hey, this is who you really are. You're bright, shining like the sun, and you bring a lot of light to this planet now. And see what that was like. We really need that light, right? We really do. And so we get to kind of sit in it for a minute. You kind of have the after effects from the meditation. And we get to fill up ourselves spiritually, we might get to physically work pleasures and doing things that we love, but it just feels good to just really fill up with our own energy, because that feels really good, and to see what that's like, to be you in the world, right? And hopefully we fix the feedback. You think if we can fix our health and our wealth and our love and that we should be able to fix some feedback, right? So I should work on that next time. Get some help for some technical feedback on this, right? So oh wow, I just had a big bird just flying. Oh, it's the parrot. The parrots came. Here in Sierra Madre, there are these parrots, these wild parrots, where the pet store burned down, and I don't remember what year. And oh, you can hear them. They're so loud. And so they're wild birds, wild parrots that roam Sierra Madre and Pasadena. And there's hundreds of them. And they have their whole, there they are. They just flew across. They have their whole ecosystem here. And I love that they're free and they've created their own community here by themselves, right? So
their whole.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
there
really
you go.
cool.
Across.
That's really cool.
They have their whole.
So anyways, I hope you like
I
that
love they're
meditation.
free and they created
I don't,
their
we're
own,
set to private. I'm gonna
their
set
own
this to
community
public
here,
afterwards.
by
I'm
themselves.
not sure why it's
So,
set private, but it is. So that means that you've been, you have seen some of my shows before.
Anyways, I hope you
In
like
the
that
past,
meditation.
we've had lots of
We're
different,
set to private. I'm gonna set this to public afterwards.
wonderful, fabulous
I'm not
authors
sure why
and
it's set private,
poets
but it is.
and
So, that
creators here on the show.
yes,
We
some
talk
of
a lot
my
about
shows
experiences
before,
and extraordinary experiences
have lots of different
that started me on my whole path into the whole UFO field, ET field. I needed to know, what really happened to me was real. And so I started reading and finding all the information I could about having an extraterrestrial contact and how to handle that and how to work with that. And I've been at it for since 1989 is when it happened. So 2024, I don't know, let's see.
Terrestrial contact. And
I don't know, how many years is that? 35 years I've been working on. I think I got it down pretty good though, because I went through most of my fear. A lot of time there's a lot of fear surrounding it when you have an extraordinary experience. And now I'm not too worried about it anymore, right? How do you get to that place though? I think it takes time and patience with yourself and hang out with other people who've had those experiences. Too is really helpful so you could talk about it to someone with respect and honor and dignity. And they go, oh, yeah, that happened to me too. And oh yeah, it was like that for me too. And so I am writing my next book. I've been working on it for the 35 years of my adventures as a wild psychic over the years, and the people I've met and the teachers I've met and the experiences I've had, and I had some wild rides, shall we say. And so I'll be talking about that in my upcoming book, and excited to share that with you if it can be of help, right? Because my life really is a life of service. And I think that's the best kind of life to have. But it's the way I'm made, it's my nature. I found out who I was, and I'm pretty centered, and I know I sound like I, me, but I'm not a narcissist, really, I'm not. But I do know about narcissists. A lot of empaths are attracted to narcissists, but you have to be wise about that as well, and remember it's okay to be sensitive. And actually it's an extraordinary gift to be sensitive. But then you have to learn how to be protected in the world and how to protect your space and your energy and how to work with that. And so I teach about that in my classes and how to work with spirit guides. And I have some really cool guides that I work with. And your guides change as you change and as you grow as well. So maybe a guide that you had as a child isn't the best guide for you now. You might want to bring in a new guide. So, and remember, if you do have a guide, if you feel like you have a guardian angel or a guide, to talk with them. It's not a one-way, not a one-way street. We have to remember to talk with them. So, I suggest that you do, have them come in and be a little bit closer, have them, be outside your auric field, but just say, hey, how are you? How are you here to serve me, right? What can you do for me? Well, you can help me get a technological wizard that can help me with my show, right? Why haven't I asked for that before? And so I did, and so I do have someone, so next week we won't have these technological problems, right? So I would like to pull a card. This is my favorite deck. For those that have been with me for a long time, you know that. And it's from my favorite deck, the Druid Craft Tarot. I love this book. this
So I would like to,
particular
pull a card.
Druid Craft Tarot. So I'm gonna pull a card from that for you. It'll be for this week until I see you again on Friday. So I'm gonna ask Great Spirit for a card for you for this week, okay? So let's see what it is. This is for all the listeners on the new Cosmic Oracle Show with Steve Colburn and myself and our YouTube channel. So here we go. This is the one. Oh, it's Four of Wands. It's a beautiful card.
All the listeners.
Four of Wands. If you can see that, it's really pretty.
And
I think you can.
Here we go.
Let's see what's coming.
Oh, it's.
There it is.
Wands.
Four of Wands.
Beautiful card.
I'll bring it up
Four
a
of
little
Wands.
bit
If you can
so that
see
you can see that.
It's really pretty.
And it just shows, there you go. Let's bring it a little bit closer. So it just shows like a fire, and it has four poles and this beautiful greenery around it with a broad house or long house in the background and Four of Wands. So we'll look it up and see what it says. Four of Wands.
It shows like a.
Hearth and home, harvest and celebration. When fire's warmth meets the safety and security symbolized by the number 4, we see a situation of ease, comfort, and deep satisfaction. All the warm feelings denoted by the word home and symbolized by the hearth fire. So meditation and ceremony beside the hearth can be seen as basic to practice of Druid craft. So finding this card in a reading may indicate a sense of enjoying the harvest of your work, or it may relate to acquiring a new home. I just moved into my new home and improving your existing one. And so fire needs air to breathe, and it is possible that your dynamism or your energy is frustrated or limited by the four walls of your home or your routine. So accepting your circumstances and simply enjoying them may be the right action, right? So clean up your home this weekend, move things around. You want to change your energy in your house, move something, move a chair, buy a plant, buy a bird feeder. The birds need you. A friend was telling me about the birds, that they really need us now. And so buy a bird feeder or a hummingbird feeder and bring a little bit of nature closer to you, and have nature in your house so that you remember to breathe and to take care of yourself and to water it and to feed it and to love it and nurture it. And it makes the heart just feel so much better. So, so bring a little greenery into your home and let a little bit of more nature. Instead of you going out to nature, let nature come in and be with you inside your home. I remember one of the very first jobs I ever got was managing a plant store. This is way back in the 70s. And I used to know all the scientific names of all the plants. But I still have quite a few plants in my home. I still think it's important. It helps the air for sure, the air quality. And if you find certain plants, they have certain healing abilities to them as well. So you can look it up. I have a corn silk plant and I actually have a money tree plant that someone gave me. Oh, I have some beautiful plant that was when you walk down, I was walking down the street and it said free, and it was this beautiful plant and aloe vera gel plant, a whole bunch of them. And so I brought it home and sprouted it in water. And so I used the aloe vera gel plant. I love it. And so it's become a part of our home, and I have a spider plant. Anyway, I talk to my plants, they talk back. It creates a beautiful, harmonious environment. I always set the energy of my home, so if someone walks through the door, that they're on sacred ground. They're on holy ground. And I do that by, I do smudge my house quite often. And I also work with that with myself, and so every good psychic needs a crystal ball too, right? So I do work with my crystal ball. I love it. I asked for it to come and it did. It came to me and makes me really happy when I see it. But this is my crystal ball. It's not the Mitchell Hedges crystal skull, which we've had Bill on our show, but it's my crystal ball and I just think she's really beautiful. And let's see if she has anything to say today. Yeah, she's saying just take it easy and remember to look up to the stars, to the sky, and find your secret cave, your secret place that's just for you. And no one else can come there. That's just between you and Great Spirit. So you walk into this sacred place that's just yours. And you can do that in your mind. You can definitely come to your sacred space in your mind where you can just relax and be. I think that's kind of the mantra for today is just being. I'm just gonna be. I'm gonna be aware of being aware. I'm just gonna be today. So this is my beautiful crystal ball, and I've had it for quite a long time, and she just wanted to be seen today. So that's pretty cool. I don't show her very often. I show her in my classes, and I teach you how to scythe and how to read a crystal ball in my classes. It's really fun. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy using it. It's a really amazing tool to use in your life as well. So here's to you getting your very own crystal ball and working with it, right? Learning how to use it. And actually have a relationship with it. It's really heavy. So so I think that's it, my crystal ball, and this is my crystal wand that I use as well. I guess it's a crystal kind of day. And this is a tool that I use in my work as well. I just love it. It's and this is my crystal wand that I use as well. This is something that I use, you know, to work with things, work with energy, dispel energy, increase energy. So how to work with a crystal wand. So and it has a really cool Egyptian figure on it. It's like kind of like a king tut. So all right. Well, from my house to yours, have a wonderful week this week. Remember to take care of yourself first and foremost. And thank you for tuning in to the Cosmic Oracle Show. Our first one on YouTube today for a long time. And we look forward to seeing you next week. And I don't know who we have on the show next week. But Steve will be here. We will be talking about something current and that hopefully can give you some information to help you have a better quality of life so that you can shine bright like the shiny star and sun that you are. So thank you again for tuning in to the Cosmic Oracle Show this week. I'm your guest, Barbara Jean Lindsay. And people said, well, who are you? What do you do? Well, I'm a master psychic for over 35 years. I'm a firewalking instructor for many years. I forget all the things I've done. I'm a Reiki 2 initiate, a sister of Avalon. What else? Oh, I forget. Oh, I'm a certified medical hypnotherapist. So I do work with that. If you want to be regressed, if you've had an experience, we can take a look at that in a safe place if you like. Anyway, that's enough. So thanks again for tuning in. Thanks to my guest, Steve Colburn, our host today, Stephen Colburn. You can check out his website. It's down actually, so you can call Steve at, I remember his number, but I don't. But it's Steve _ Colburn, COLBERN at gmail.com. Oh, at yahoo.com. That's Steve _ Colburn COLBERN at yahoo.com. If you want to get a scan to see if you have an alien implants, he's an alien implant expert. So, and he's a lot of fun, and really knows so much, has such wisdom to share about that subject. And so I guess that's it. I'll be signing off. And again, thanks to Revolution Radio. And I'm in a good place today. I hope you're in a good place. I hope we brought you to a wonderful place where you feel at peace, right? Even in a chaotic, crazy world sometimes, but we're not going to go there. We're going to stay in peace and stay in our center, and sending out love and peace and protection to all of those people who had family in the disaster today in Moscow. And so our heart goes out to them and to all of their family, and because we are connected, we're very connected in so many ways. So thanks again. Thanks for tuning in. From my heart to yours, from my family to your family, wishing you all the best, and stay connected, stay in the heart, love yourself more, try all those things, all those good things that help. And so for me, love is always the answer. So I try and stay in that as much as I can. And boy, do I get sidetracked, right? And but I try and go back. I try and always go back to the center. If I get knocked off, I go, oh yeah, I'm knocked off, and I go back to my center. So and remember that each day is such a gift, right? Because I died in 1989, and so every day since December 4th, 1989 has been a gift. So I'm not even supposed to be here, right? But look, miracles happen every day. And so we can have miracles, all right? I'm never going to let go of that. And I'm going to live with this, and I'll leave the show with this, that we can have peace on this planet. I want peace on this planet. I really know that we can have it. So let's link up and join up and have peace on this planet. Because it's time. It's really time to make that a reality. And if we can dream it, that's the first step. Then we can make it a reality. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next week on the Cosmic Oracle Show with our host, Steve Colburn, and with our new moderator. I'm not going to say her name, but you'll meet her next week. You're going to just love her. She's really amazing and wonderful, and has a lot of vitality and energy to bring to the show. So I think you'll love her as much as we do. So we'll see you next week.